Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hey, it's Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks for being here. Please, if you haven't subscribed, we'd appreciate it if you would. If you'd hit that thumbs up, we'd appreciate it even more. So, I did a live stream the other day. And during the live stream, we started talking about a subject that I saw on a different live stream. And to make a long story short, we started talking about the tradition of what's expected out of foreign boyfriends and husbands. I'm going to tell you that's bullshit. That's bullshit to the extent of being absolutely hilarious. And let me tell you why. In order to do this, you have to understand that tradition is a word that has a definition. Okay? If you look it up, you find out that a tradition is something that exists or transpires at least twice over the course of 3 generations. So then you have to go and you have to look it up and say, okay, what's a generation? For this case, we're going to use 23 years. It can be an average of between 20 and 25 years. The actual exact definition of a generation is that amount of time that exists between birth, adulthood, and giving birth. So you're talking 20 years on average. Although there are a lot of young women having babies, it's not in the millions. Okay? And there are millions of people in the Philippines, as you well know, or should. To say that something is a tradition, that means it's been going on for 3 generations. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's figure some things out. Well, it's barely been 3 generations since the end of World War II. And that's kind of skimping it. Okay, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. Oh, let me throw another flag in there, though. If you've ever lived in the Philippines, if you've ever been to the Philippines, if you've ever had relatives in the Philippines, and you sent them a letter, in order for you to communicate with them, it takes weeks, sometimes months, for mail to get delivered here, if it gets delivered at all. And that's in 2022. It was worse in 2000. Okay? In order to have a tradition, you have to have people that practice it. And in order for them to practice it, they have to know about it. And in order for them to know about it, people have to communicate with each other. You see where I'm going with this? The Philippines hasn't been a communication-rich environment for 3 generations. They've barely been a communication-rich environment for 1 generation. I mean, let's talk about it for a few minutes. Google. You're saying, well, there's email, there's voice messaging, there's Facebook. Well, okay, there is. Not until a long time before 3 generations comes along. All right. Now, I had this all set up, and I had it set up in a way that I could display it. But when was Google established? Yes. Tabilished. Okay. 1998. August of 1998. Okay. A little over 1 generation ago. The internet. Google. All right. And then if you look at MySpace, which was long before Facebook Messenger, okay? Okay, let's just talk about MySpace. When did they have access to MySpace? 2003 for MySpace. Okay. Just coming up on 2 generations. Then we have to go back and look at what is happening with respect to actual ability to communicate. I mean, I can tell you right now, just calling a Filipino telephone number here is still an ordeal. If you look at the websites of companies and governments, local government units, all right, there are entire cities, towns, counties, whatever you want to call them, all right, they only exist on Facebook. They don't have their own websites. That's how back they are, because they don't have the IT staff to support that or the budget for the IT staff. And their needs are minimal, so Facebook works for them. All right. Facebook Messenger. In order for you to use Facebook Messenger, you're going to need to have either access to Wi-Fi, or you're going to need to have cellular data access, or you're going to have an internet access provider in your house and you're hooked up to Wi-Fi there. It's not as easy as it seems. 15 years ago, it was far, far more limited than it is now. Okay? Long, long time ago. I think one of the more interesting ones, you don't see the rise of dating sites on the internet until 2000. Cupid Media, Filipino Cupid, and a couple of others. Okay? That wasn't until 2000. So how did these people get this out there? How did it become a tradition? It's not a tradition. And it's not, even if it were a tradition. What about the fact that Filipino men are not expected to do XYZ when dating a Filipina, but foreign men are? It's a tradition for the boyfriend to treat the entire family to XYZ. It's tradition for you to support the family. It's a tradition for you, the foreign boyfriend. Tradition for the Philippine wife, Philippine girl to help support her family? Sure. Tradition for her to support them completely? No, that's not true. That's an exception to the rule. You're going to find that the vast majority of Philippine girls out there can only help supplement their families. Very few of them can support their entire families, because generally, very few of them can. I'm not going to make assumptions. You still can't do all of that. It's not a tradition. But what has propagated it, what has brought it to the forefront, is that it has happened. And because it does happen, and we're guilty, I'm guilty of this, okay? To a certain extent, I'm guilty of this, and I'll explain. Because we are able to help and treat our family, all right, my wife's family, right? Word gets around. And as the years go on and word gets around, people say, well, if you have a foreign husband or a foreign boyfriend, then it's expected. It's an expectation because it's tradition. It's not tradition. Okay? Even then, it's not tradition. I've spoken to many, many, many expats, both here and online, that do not support entire family units. And keep in mind, the entire family unit would be the parents, the siblings, the children of the siblings, the grandparents, all right, aunties, and everything else. For you to be expected to take a group of 25 to 40 people out is not a tradition. Okay? It's not something you do all the time. Now, can you do it? Sure, you can do it. And we encourage when it's the right time and place to do so. Because we do. We take my wife's family and many extended family friends out. We treat them. We'll have a big lechon. We'll roast a pig and get all the food and everything else, and we'll feed people during fiesta. Okay? We make sure that my wife's father, who still to this day works every day, he's a farmer and a fisherman, and he gets up at 4 o'clock every morning and heads to the lake to start working on his fishing trips. He still works to this day. Does he need help once in a while? Yeah. Does he ask for it? No. Never. Never has my family, my wife's family, asked for help. Never. And we've seen them in some tight spots, and we've given help. That's fine. Okay? But especially for you guys that are coming over here to first meet the girlfriend, and you're going to go to the province and meet the family, and we should really have a discussion of how an internet long distance relationship is a girlfriend or isn't, but we'll leave that for another day. Don't do it. Absolutely. I'll tell you the same thing I said in that live. Don't do it. Do not go to the province until after you've spent significant time with that partner of yours. And before you do anything, be honest and truthful up front and let them know, hey, these are my limitations. Because if they can't accept those limitations, they're not going to be happy. And if they're not happy, you're not going to be happy. Just move on. There's a million other girls. You'll find the right one. It's not a tradition. And I will debate, and am happy to debate, any Filipina or Filipino, girl or guy, that says this is a tradition, that it's a tradition that foreign men have to do this. I'm happy to debate them. I will set up my cam software for interview mode and have you on, and we'll have a live stream and debate it. That's how serious I feel about it. If I'm wrong, show me. Show me I'm wrong. But I can tell you, You're going to have to get past what a tradition is. You're going to have to get past how long it's been around. And you're going to have to get past, well, I don't know that you have to get past. I guess you could make the claim it's a tradition, but only for foreigners. It's not a tradition for Filipino men. Only for foreigners. I guess if people can live with that, that's fine. But either way, look, I hope you found this a little bit informative. Holidays are coming. Have a great time. We wish you a happy holiday. I know a lot of you are traveling and you've got company coming and you're getting ready. So we hope you the best of time and a great new year. We'll catch you whenever you get around to viewing this. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified. Either way, thanks so much. Have a great day.